Hey everyone, as I was on Instagram today, I saw several different posts that talked about the three simple moves that healed my autoimmune condition, or the morning routine that took away my gluten intolerance, or, one simple hack for curing my Lyme disease. And I need to just speak to this because it's becoming rampant all over social media as an excellent way to be a lead capture, to sell products, to sell people's programs, often people who have zero clinical training, zero experience with these conditions other than their own. And I'm here to tell you, after working with many thousands of people, it's not going to be three simple somatic movements that take away your autoimmune condition. That's not how this works. And and this is really important to think about. I want you to understand the difference between a nervous system hack and something that actually results in profound healing of the nervous system and eventually of whatever your health condition is, because they're two different things. Now, of course, I also teach a lot of tools that, if you were to use them on their own, would be considered a nervous system hack, meaning in the moment, you could do this tool and you would likely feel a little bit better after you're done. However, that simple shift of state of the nervous system is not the underlying issue. If you're having chronic Lyme disease, mold toxicity, autoimmune conditions, digestive issues, irritable bowel, thyroid issues, it's not just a simple shift of the nervous system that's needed. It's actually a shift of identity. A shift of identity. How you perceive your world is what needs to shift, because there are so many signals coming from your perception all the way down into your autonomic nervous system, millions of times an hour, to cause your cellular function to be what it is. And back in 2020, when I first started coaching, I was really big into the brain retraining hack. I was really big into that whole thing to heal. And I started to notice something, that people were using these brain retraining routines or sometimes somatic routines endlessly, like every day, to just shift them into calm. But their overall healing, well, yes, it might have gotten better, it wasn't complete. But then there were some people that did have a complete healing. And as I worked with those people and studied them, as well as my own story, I saw that what was actually happening wasn't about the tool. It was about what happened deep within them as a life perspective, who they were changed. So if you're getting up every day and you're doing these, the greatest, latest somatic nervous system routine, but how you operate in the world, how you perceive yourself, your family, your past, if that doesn't shift, you're still going to be sending stress signals to the autonomic nervous system. So, this is important. Are you chasing nervous system hacks on Instagram, or maybe even in my program or another program? Or are you using these tools to come in contact with who you are and look at how you're looking at your life, how you're perceiving your life? In other words, these tools are to bring you back to your center, and from that place to decide differently about how you're perceiving the world, so that you're not sending stress signals all day long to your autonomic nervous system. I wish it was easy as, hey, sign up for my free webinar and I will show you the three tricks that healed my autoimmune condition. You're going to see that all over Instagram. I just saw somebody saying that today. I'm going to show you the three moves that healed three of my autoimmune conditions. That's snake oil, friends. It's not how it is. And those moves may have helped her calm. They may have helped her have a daily practice to come back to herself. But the healing is a deep switch in your cellular, in your mitochondria, in your cells, in your immune system. And that deep switch happens by a sense of who you are in the world, a sense of safety, of belonging, a sense of integrity, and a safety to be yourself. So again, take a step back. What are you doing right now? Are you frantically looking for hacks? Are you scrolling Instagram being like, oh, maybe they have the answer. Maybe they have the answer. Stop. This is why in our program, we have so much background education, because I don't just give you the hacks right away. I teach you why you're sick. I teach you what's going on a cellular level so that you don't use the tools the wrong way. Because that's what I see. I see people coming into my program and they're like, where are the tools? I need the tools because I need to get better. I'm like, it's not the tools. Yes, the tools help, but there's an underlying set point of an operating system that needs to change. And you need to see what your current operating system is doing that is resulting in immune dysfunction. Because just doing a few breaths, doing some lymphatic drainage, the latest stretch, yes, it feels great in the moment. But if you're walking through the world scared to death about every little sensation, full of resentment about what people have done to you in the past, you're not going to find that full healing. I really don't see that. The identity has to shift. And that is a journey, my friends. That is a journey of self-discovery. The tools are a way of like nurturing yourself on a daily basis to discover what that is. It's a journey of uncovering deep subconscious beliefs that have been running the show and learning how to decide differently. It's a journey of meeting scared parts of you and reattaching to wounded aspects of yourself. And so it's not an overnight thing. I was a somatic trained physical therapist. I had all of the tools in the world for all of those years I was sick. I was, mostly housebound for over a decade. I had a doctoral level education. I had advanced clinical training in somatics. If it was the tools that heal you, I would have been healed. It was a different way of using them, but more importantly, a different perspective on who I was. That when I used the tools not to fix my symptoms, but instead to feel my needs, to feel my truth, then I had to make different choices. I had to take different actions. And so that's what we teach. We have a process of teaching you a full algorithm of how to think of your situation differently and eventually how to act differently in our level 2 program. And, whether it's my program, another program, a book, or simply just choosing, and the truth is, you don't need any of it. You need to sit and come to know yourself and come to know the truth of an innate safety that's inside of you, that you're supported by life itself, and a choice to be your true you. So I recommend listening to testimonial interviews, which we have on my channel. There's testimonial interviews on so many other healing platforms. They're not going to just say, oh, it was this tool that fixed me. That's not how it is. Or this sequence of these 3 tools that fixed me. Every one of them had a deep, profound change in who they are and how they saw the world. And sitting here and scrolling and just getting the next tool, it's actually aggravating your system. Yes, you might get a temporary dopamine hit of control, the latest tool that made you feel well, but you'll be right back to the scrolling for another one and another one, another one. That's grasping for things outside of you to fix you. That doesn't lead to an expected end. Trust me, I did that for many years. I learned and learned and learned more and more somatic tools. And that's not what ultimately caused me to have this shift. I had to deeply surrender to the feelings of discomfort in my body and choose to look at the beautiful life around me at the same time and change again my entire operating system of how I saw the world. So I hope that's helpful. I hope that makes you think twice about the next time you feel that dopamine hit of you found the next 3 tools that will fix you, and that you learn how to engage in the tools differently. Thanks for listening.